Liverpool were handed their first defeat of the season as Nottingham Forest beat the Reds at Anfield 1-0. In today's video, we'll discuss why Liverpool fans are fuming, whilst also going over all the latest Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to cover in today's video. But first guys, please do make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Liverpool content. Details of Liverpool's first kit offerings with Adidas are starting to leak, which include the colour offerings that will have fans welcoming the return of the German manufacturers. This season may still be in its infancy, but like so many campaigns before, there are always eyes being cast further ahead, especially when it comes to kits. This season is said to be the Reds' last with Nike, as the club will make their return to Adidas from the 2025-2026 onwards, 13 years after the end of their second partnership. And supporters have now offered a hint at the offerings for next season, with the reliable footy headlines leaking some interesting details. Unsurprisingly, the home offering will be predominantly red, but kit expert FUMING has indicated that it will include Adidas Trefoil logo, giving a classic and nostalgic look. It will certainly prove a popular choice among supporters. As for the away kit, with assistance from kit enthusiast KB2X, footy headlines say it is likely to be ecru off-white, and we'll see a return to the classic Liverpool crest, a detail we're a little dubious of. The crest in question was introduced in 1987-1988 and remained until 1992, one synonymous with a combination of Crown Paints, Candy and Adidas. What an incredible era of kits they were. Further information, FUMING suggested the official colour palette will be termed Wonder White Black, which is as close to ecru as you will get. Nevertheless, it really has potential to be an instant classic. As for the Adidas logo, it is not yet known if the away kit will feature the Adidas Performance logo or the classic Trefoil logo, a choice which could really make or break the strip. There have not been as many leaks over the third kit, but FUMING has teased it could be a bottle green Adidas, ticking off the retro combinations early doors. More details and leaks are likely to follow in the coming months, as official launches are no longer shrouded in secrecy, but early signs point to an exciting trio of kits. Liverpool fans have slaughtered Dominic Sabrosa for his individual performance against Nottingham Forest in the Premier League, as they are fuming. The Reds were beaten 1-0 at Anfield after a wonder goal from Callum Hudson-Odoi in the second half. The attacking midfielders struggled to get into the match as Arne Slot's team were unable to break down their opponents, despite having the lion's share of possession. The Hungary international was provided 2 assists already this season against Manchester United and Ipswich, but was unable to create anything in this fixture. Slot did keep Sabrosa on for the entire game, but he never ended up getting into the match in an influential manner. The defeat was Liverpool's first of the season, leading them to falling 3 points behind Manchester City in the Premier League table. Liverpool fans are growing tired of Dominic Sabrosa's performances. The watching Liverpool fans felt Sabrosa's lack of creativity in the game, who felt this was a particularly poor performance. Supporters questioned how wasteful he was with the ball, with another labelling him a diabolical footballer. Here's what fans said. When are we going to start having conversations about Dominic Sabrosa not being good enough? Yet another game of poor touches, poor passing and poor football IQ. Running around loads doesn't make him good, we got rid of Hendo for that. Another fan says, will be a cold day in hell if I ever rate Sabrosa, by the way. Diabolical footballer. Another said, the most annoying thing about Sabrosa is when we signed him, I thought we were getting a creative player. We've barely seen glimpses of that since he's joined, he needs to offer more. Sabrosa is so wasteful again, as an attack breaks down, it leads Alisson making a smart save to deny Wood. Another said, we've got the old Sabrosa back, he's been awful. Another said, only Jesus Christ himself knows why Sabrosa has played this whole game. And then lastly, one fan said, Dominic Sabrosa has been poor today. Slot has erred by taking Alexis McAllister off instead of him. Stun mistake with Diaz versus Salah. Sabrosa going to play the full game after this disgraceful of a performance. Following that guys, now we're going to be going through the 5 major talking points from the game. Poor decisions from players and manager. Bad decisions in the final third dwarfed numerous Liverpool attacks and chances to win throughout this game. It was something that affected the whole team, suggesting it might not be a case for an individual poor performance, but an issue with the setup. One Mohamed Salah shot in the second half summed up their attacking players. It landed closer to the corner flag than to the goal. When in promising position with 15 minutes to go, Salah took a shot when he had 3 teammates lining up the far post. It's not just Salah, Jota and Luis Diaz also struggled in attack, and those behind them weren't much better. As stated, Szoboszlai's pass success rate in the Premier League so far this season has been at an impressive 93%, but this game it was down to 78%. Salah has also been high for a forward at 87%, but in this game it dropped to 70%. There was some sloppiness that bordered on confusion at time, and 1 point 2 players ran into each other while looking to take control of an attacking move. Alongside the trouble players were having none of Slot's changes to remedy the situation worked, and the second faded out rather than bringing Liverpool back into the game. Not much for Anfield to get behind. Partly due to this sloppy play on the ball, there was not much for the fans to get behind at any point. Lacking some heavy metal, tireless counter-pressing, it was left to play on the ball to get the crowd going, and it rarely did. Diaz hit the post and Matt Sells almost dropped the ball into his own goal, but other than those moments, there was no real verve on the field to liven the crowd into the stands. These lulls did occasionally happen under Jurgen Klopp, of course, and this won't always happen under the new regime, but there was something flat about this whole display. Some of it was down to the way Forest set up, and the visitors did well, but a frustrated Anfield reflected a group of frustrated players. Liverpool only had 5 shots on target, 2 Forest's 3, despite having 70% possession. In the future, there might need to be a little more forcing off the issue to an attempt to create a winning atmosphere. A debut for Federico Chiesa late on would have provided some impetus and got the crowd going, but bizarrely he was left out of the squad, and 4 defenders were named on the bench instead. Trent slotting into midfield revisited. If we thought Slot's arrival would signal the end of Trent Alexander-Arnold in the midfield, we were mistaken. In an attempt to inject something different to Liverpool's struggling attack in the second half, Conor Bradley came on to replace Alexis McAllister, which saw Trent move into midfield. It meant the shape of the midfield 3 was more 1-2 than 2 holding midfielders we've seen in recent weeks, with Gravenberch and McAllister behind Szoboszlai in a 2-1 midfield formation. In this formation, Trent was up alongside Szoboszlai, with Gravenberch holding onto his own in front of the back 4. At both England and Liverpool so far this season, it had seemed Trent's midfield experiment had been abandoned, but Slot showed that it remains an option at club level. On this showing though, we might avoid it in the future. Losing the duels. While Virgil van Dijk and Konate were generally dominant at the back across the rest of the pitch, Liverpool struggled to win the scraps. For much of the game, Liverpool's ground duels 1 percentage stood at around 35%, and so it ended. Nottingham Forest's fullbacks were especially active in this area, with Ola Anina and Alex Moreno performing well against Salah and Diaz for an hour until Liverpool made the changes. Alexander-Arnold finished the game having only won 4 of 12 ground duels contested. With Slot having emphasised this area of the game when he subbed Jarrell Quansah at half-time in the opening game of the season, he will likely be disappointed with the display and may cite it as a reason it was a loss. Rotation soon. Bar the Quansah moment, Slot is stuck with the same lineup for each of the games so far as Liverpool manager. This is a busy run of fixtures to come though, and it will test his ability to get back to winning ways while also using his squad. It is a new test for Slot, who admitted in the press conference prior to this game that he was not used to rotating his team much as previous club Feyenoord. With the lack of battles won and the need for someone to be active defensively in the midfield, it's a surprise Wataru Endo was not used at all by the time Liverpool realised they might have needed him in this game. It was too late. 7 of the starting 11 have played the maximum 180 minutes for the respective country during the international break, and it definitely showed. Liverpool fans, what are your thoughts on the result against Nottingham Forest, and what's your thoughts on Dominic Sabrosa? Are fans being too harsh? Let me know down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.